Hey, what's up, my beautiful people? It's your boy Devo, some motivational, back with another day trading spy recap. Real quick, I want to say thank you all for all the likes, the comments, the subscribes. Thank you guys for all the views. Thank you guys for, thank you all you guys who are sticking with me through the journey. Everything you guys do, it really means a lot. And let's get straight into it, okay? So today we don't have much news that came out. We have some important data that came out, which is giving us kind of mixed signals. But I can see why we have this pump. Then also I can see a dump coming, and I might actually get into a trade while I'm on here. Okay, and so I had one trade previously in the day. Rookie mistake. Wouldn't really say rookie mistake, but it wasn't really a good trade. I felt like I had a good setup, but like looking back at it, I rushed the trade. Honestly, it was just a rush trade. Minus $52, but I could potentially have another trade because now the setup that I actually wanted is actually occurring. Okay, so let's get straight into it with the data first. So the data we had coming in today, we had Jolt's job openings, which was actually better than expected. Actual 7.391, consensus 7.1, and previous was 7.2. So that is good and bad, right? So it's showing the economy is strong, but because there's job openings, but at the same time that lowers chances of rate cuts. So that's why I'm actually bearish today, because yes, this is good for like the economy, but at the same time that gives more of a reason for Powell not to cut rates if he's seeing that there's still job openings, there's still people not quitting, there's still money in the economy. So that's still giving him signs to hold interest rates steady. So that's why I was a little bearish going and coming into the market, and still a little bearish, even though we had this pump up to 595. Factory orders month on month negative 3.7. The consensus was negative 3. Previous was 3.4. So I mean that's not really good. Joe's job quits was 3.194, and previous was 3.344. So that means people aren't really quitting. So that's what I'm saying. A stronger jobs means less chance of rate cuts, right? And then so let's just go straight into the charts, okay? And so coming into the day again, I was bearish. So what did I see? So we started off ranging, right? We started off at this. I think it was right here actually. We started off right here at this 591, and we ranged right here for a little while, right? Pumped up, and right here where I have my risk to reward indicator is where I took my first trade. But we pumped up, and I felt like this was manipulation, right? We pumped up, but it was actually a good, in the 5 minute. If we see, because I was looking at this in the 5 minute, we used the top of this range of support. If we scale down to the 1 minute, there's no real fair value gap. It kind of just used it as support. There's no fair value gap or anything, so it doesn't really look like a good entry because there's no fair value gap in the 5 minute. Then you scale down to the 1 minute. There's no fair value gaps, right? We actually did touch this 1 5 minute fair value gap inside the range, but you want to see a fair value gap outside of the range to touch, right? But so we pumped up. So I mean that's why on the upside I didn't really like even see a good entry, and then I was actually bearish thinking this was just manipulation. So that's why I also wasn't looking for calls or longs, whatever you want to call it. And so what did I see? So what I seen was these like highs up here, like wicks. So I was like, okay, maybe we can manipulate and touch those, like sweep those, and then reverse. But at the same time, excuse me, my good people, these already got taken out, right? As we see, got taken out right here, got taken out right here. So that is like kind of like a rookie move. I mean, those already got taken out. So right there, I shouldn't have looked for a short. Now I feel like I should be looking for shorts because now we took out these 595. We took out this wick at this 595, 25 area. Then we took out this wick right here, right at this 595, 55 area. So now I feel like now I can be looking for potential shorts, right? Because before when I took the short, those highs were already taken out, right? So it was already a chance of us just pumping through them because we already took them out. But now we're taking out these actual 595 highs. So now what I'm looking for, before I go into the trade I took, what trade am I looking for now? If I was to get into a trade. So as we're pumping up, I mean, if we break this and continue pumping up, I mean, that's just continuing the trend because right here, right, we actually pumped up, pulled up into this strength candle. We touched this gap right here, and right, we touched this gap right here and got us power, strength, got us power, right? So what I'm looking for is maybe if we break this, the last fair value gap, if we break this fair value gap to the downside and then give a retest. So look, I'm gonna show you what I'm looking for. So we swept those 595 highs, right? So now what I'm looking for is if we get a change of character by breaking our last lower high, right? I mean our last higher low, my fault. Breaking this last higher low right here, breaking this fair value gap mitigation. If we break that and then give a retest to like a fair value gap, our bearish fair value gap, and then we can start trending down, and I'll be looking for like the 593. I'll show you real quick what kind of that risk to reward will be looking like. Be like at the top of that fair value gap right there, and then my risk to reward would be down here. Entry would be like up here, right? So that'd be like about a 4-to-1, right? So that's what I would be looking for if I was like a little bearish, but it still looks like it's pumping up, and so there might just not be a trade today because, as you know, it's just still pumping, and so that'd be trend chasing, getting in all the way up here, right? Especially after we took out these, especially that we're at that 595 resistance, right? And so the trade I did take, as I said, I was looking at those other highs, which was kind of a rookie mistake because we already took them out. Let me go into my 1 minute to find it. And so this is where I rushed it, right? So in my 5 minute, I seen this little gap, right? I seen this little gap in my 5 minute, right? Right? In my 5 minute. But when I scale down to my 1 minute, right, we have this, like we pull it down right here. We have this fair value gap entries, right? And all we did was break down, touch that fair value gap, 5 minute fair value gap, and pump up. And so that's what I should have waited for. I should have waited for that entry sign because I did see it, right? I did see it, but when we're doing this right here, topping, I got in right around right here. So I just rushed it. I literally just rushed it. And so I knew I was rushing it, but honestly, it was a rookie mistake. I can't say anything else but just a rookie mistake because I shouldn't have rushed that, right? We were still in the uptrend. There was no signs of a reversal, even though I felt like it wanted to reverse. There was no signs of that reversal. Just like right now, I feel like it kind of wants to reverse, but there is no signs of a reversal yet. So there wouldn't be no point of taking shorts, right? And so it's honestly because I was heavily bearish, just like because I said the data was kind of strong in the job market, and so that's less chance of cutting interest rates. So that's why I felt like we were kind of going to get a little bit of a dump. But I mean, obviously I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because we're getting a huge pump up to this 595, and we could still, because we hit that 595, swept out them sellers up there. We swept out them sellers, so now we could start to get a little bit of reversal, but we're not going to take that short until we get heavy signs, okay? And so again, so I should have waited for us to I can't think what it's called. Oh, invalidate. I should have waited for us to invalidate this fair value gap. I was looking at it, but I still just kind of rushed it because I got in, I believe, right around this red candle right here, and I had my stop loss on top of here. And then as soon as I got in, like right around this candle right here, it wicked up. It was playing around. It broke back down. It looked like it was gonna go my way, and then it got bought back up. It just used that fair value gap again as power. That power held up and it pushed us to another higher high, and so that was minus 52 bucks. So again, that was a rookie mistake because I should have excuse my computer, I should have waited for that fair value gap to get invalidated, right? Because there was no signs of reversal whenever I took that trade. There was no signs of a reversal at all. Just like right now, again, I feel like it's going to reverse, but there's no signs of reversal yet. Until we invalidate until we invalidate this fair value gap right here, this 595.42. If we lose this 595.42, that was also that heavy resistance. We scale down. And honestly, I wouldn't even take that trade if we invalidate that. Why? Because we have this fair value gap right here we can touch, right? And then I would honestly be waiting for a full on reversal of breaking this last lower of this last higher low. If you go into our 5-minute, what is that? That is that wick down to this gap right here, even though it's not really a gap, just this wick down. And our 1 minute is our last higher low. So that's what I would be waiting on. Invalidation of these fair value gaps, breaking this last higher low, and then a pullback into a fair value gap if I want to get in for a bearish. For a put, okay? So that's why I took that short. It was still a rookie mistake. Again, I didn't have an invalidation of that fair value gap. I didn't have clear signs of a reversal. I kind of just went on intuition, and that burned me. That's why we go off of price, not what we think price is going to do. We go off of what we're seeing, and we wait for confirmation, okay? Because that was honestly I'm a little frustrated at that one. Even though it's $52. That's not much, but it's still frustrating because I could have saved that $52. You know what I'm saying? That shouldn't have been a loss. I shouldn't even have took that trade. That was a rush, so that was a rookie mistake, okay? So that is pretty much it. We don't have much news. Again, we still have President Trump. Donald Trump is supposed to be talking with President Xi on a phone call this week, sometime this week. It was supposed to be yesterday, but they changed it to now sometime this week. So sometime this week, we should be getting a phone call between them two. Excuse me, my good people. That was the data that we have coming out. It was the jobs. And let's see what data we have coming out tomorrow. So tomorrow we have ISM services, PMI, employment, business activity, global composite PMI. I'm not too sure what PMI but in ISM are, but they sound kind of important. Honestly, I'll probably look up to see exactly what they are. But that's pretty much it. I love every single one of y'all with me on the journey. Video not too long today. Y'all know I'll be trying to not make them too long. I don't want to bore y'all out. I just want to make sure I get the information out to you guys, show you guys my trade, show you guys where I messed up, so you guys can learn from my mistakes and not make the same mistakes. Rookie mistake today. Kind of frustrating. It is really frustrating. Even though it's $52, it's just frustrating because I shouldn't have taken that trade. Like, thinking back at it, I shouldn't have taken that trade, and that's where before I take trades, I really need to sit back and think more instead of letting my emotions jump the gun and I just want to win a trade. You know what I'm saying? And so that's all the process. You know what I'm saying? We still go through these emotional things, and so we're still learning. We're still getting better every single day. Okay, I love every single one of y'all with me on the journey. Remember, guys, stay persistent, passionate. Make sure y'all get paid. All right, peace.